Hello. Hello. Right, let's see if it'll decide to focus. I don't know why my focus settings decided to turn themselves off. All right. So this might be a little hey, I'm to do today underdrawing here. So the prompt list I've mostly been working from is the Cartoon Art Museum's Scrawl-o-Ween prompt list. I have not entirely been following that one because I do what I want. Some of the prompts just didn't really interest me, and there was another list that I was really into as well, but a list, like, it wasn't an everyday one, it was just a couple times, and some of those I liked and some of those I didn't, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do some prompts off the Scrawl-o-Ween. Most of my prompts this month are off the Scrawl-o-Ween that Molly Knox Ostertag is doing because it's great. But it's kind of, there's only a handful of them that I really felt like doing off of that one. So that was like the second or third day I did one of those. All right, I know it's just a podium so far. It's not a weird yet. We're getting there. I promise I'm getting there. Right. Yes, that's a book on a podium. We're getting there to the wizard part. I don't like that hand gesture, but I'll go back and fix it in a minute. Just trying to get my, I needed to start with the shoulder there. I needed to start with the back, actually. So I know I have a head here. I know I want an arm more or less there, but I need to. Shoulder needs to be. Let's see if I do this. How does this work? Arm is. You can't see on camera, but I'm frantically gesturing over here, trying to figure out how would you do that. How does that? Okay, so it's a very foreshortened kind of thing. That's more like it. See, you gotta do it. That's way better than whatever nonsense I was coming up with at first. Double check to make sure I'm on the right side. Yes, I do. I have been a working illustrator for 10 years, and I still consistently put people's thumbs on the wrong side of their hand, / put their hand on their arm. I still do it. I still do it all the time. I usually catch myself. I don't always catch myself, but I usually catch myself. All right, rest of this guy's body. Mostly hidden by the lectern, but I need to know where his leg is going to come up and out here. I don't like that mouth. I'll get there. I'll figure out what this person's face is supposed to look like. So, all right, I need to figure out a few more things a little bit more. I'm gonna tighten this up here a little bit, not a lot, because I don't go too crazy with the underdrawing on any of these ink pieces for the art challenge, because like that's part of the whole deal, is that I'm trying to keep the underdrawing minimal. I'm going to add a little bit more decoration to this podium, though. Give it some line of little circles. Make it just a little bit more ornate. I think I'm going to have to break out the straight edge for some of this because I got some wonky lines here. Don't want to go too crazy on the underdrawing, but I do also need to have, actually made some decisions about how this is going. Not just left like a vague scribble where a hand is supposed to be. All right, that's something approaching a human hand. To fix this inside part of the palm here that's doing, I'm not entirely sure what. What's going on? I need that nice big meatiness to the palm. Palms are nice and meaty. Even on people who have really thin pronounced hands and really thin pronounced fingers, that your palm is nice and meaty so you can grab stuff. Okay, I definitely need to clean up some of these scribbles. So much scribbly going on. What are we doing? It's only 10 minutes in. Okay, I'm not in bad shape. So far, I've been keeping these art challenge pieces somewhere between 20 and 45 minutes for the most part, I think. I think the ghost one I did a couple days ago has taken me the longest so far. That one took me almost an hour. get this. Got some ponytail action happening back here. All right, there's the underside of that arm. We need to get just a little bit more definition in there before we move on. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh my God, my cat really wants to be involved. Please don't walk across my drawing and my ink, cat. I understand that you want to be in my lap because it's chilly, but no. No, Odin. I swear, between cats and children, I don't know how I get anything done. Well, it's just the one cat. But, you know, you get the idea. What is that? All right. I'll get some big loose sleeves going here. Get some nice wizardy robe action going here. There we go. All right, I think I'm not gonna belabor that underdrawing too much more. I have one more thing to do. Give a little bit of a figure out, just kind of plan where I'm going to do this, because the book has a little bit of a glowy effect around it. And I think I want it not quite touching him yet. Okay. Fun. All right, 15 minutes in-ish, and I have my underdrawing. Now I'm going to move on to doing ink. All right, I do think I need my triangle if I can get it. Oh, I've got eraser crumbs on here. Hang on. Clear that. Nib. doing some of these straight edges, I will tell you a little more about Scrawl-o-Ween. So the Cartoon Art Museum, as one might expect from the title, is a museum of cartoons, comics, sequential art, and obviously they have been closed for many months now to the public. So they are, in an effort to, remain open, as in be able to open sometime in the future to the public again. They're doing a fundraiser. All October long, they're doing Scrawl-o-Ween. So there's a bunch of artists, including myself, who are all doing different spooky, Halloween-y type themed art. And if you donate to the museum, then you can get, whoops, I bonked my camera. Sorry about that. If you donate to the museum, then you can get, I think, a $5 donation gets you a high-res download of whichever of the art pieces you like. And then they're also going to be auctioning off some of the originals as well. And you donate any amount that you want. But I thought it was pretty cool. They've got a bunch of different artists doing all of these different images, and each day it's a prompt. Each artist picked a different, or was assigned a different day. Yay, I botched that line. That was great. Every artist was assigned a different day. Mine is coming up on the 22nd, 21st or 22nd. In a little while. I'll let you know again when we closer. I'll be sure to shout about it more then. So I will be contributing a piece to this fundraiser. Lots of other people are too. A lot of the pieces are really cool. I'm sure they're all going to be really cool. It's a really cool fundraiser. I will include a link to it in the description of this video when I'm done, so you can go check it out. But you can just Google Cartoon Art Museum and you'll find them. You can check out all the other Scrawl-o-Ween images so far and follow it. There's could be a lot of even cooler ones coming up later in the month, I'm sure. All right, I'll work on some of this while I wait for those lines to dry. Add some of this stuff. Oh, that's some circles right there. Totally a circle, I swear. No one can draw circles. I say that. Some people can draw circles. Tain't me. Tain't most people. Or straight lines, for that matter. That's why I used a triangle. That's why I was using a triangle. If I actually wanted these perfect little circles, I'd be using a circle template. But I don't mind that they're mildly bean-shaped too much. Only bothers me a little bit. Try not to drag my hand through wet ink. That is all staying rather wet. I'm going to have to wait a minute for that to all dry and move on to something else for a minute. We'll work on the lightning bolt. So yeah, we'll see if I can complete this one in an hour. I would like to. I did go with a slightly larger image than I've been doing for my other videos for the live stream here. I've been doing my other images at like 6x12 little pieces. This is a 9x12. Or I guess I was doing 9 by 6? Yeah, 9 by 6. I can math. I'd been doing little 9 by 6 pieces, and this is a 9 by 12. So it's literally twice the size of what I've been doing, just because I felt like it would make for a better presentation for live streaming, where I can't like edit the footage and zoom in and make it clearer if I need to. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So, wizard. This may look a little bit like, this doesn't look like a regular wizard, Amanda. What is this? This is a wizard, I assure you. If you have any guesses as to who this wizard is, you can let me know. He's a real wizard, as in he is an established character in a very good-sized fandom. That's your first hint. Your second hint is no, he doesn't, is not a part of freaking Harry Potter. I have not, and I will not do Harry Potter fan art ever. If I ever even, I've never even read the books, honestly, and I just was one of those things where I just never quite hit that craze. And now I'm kind of glad I didn't. I feel really bad for everybody who was very emotionally invested in that universe and is now super sad or conflicted. I feel bad for them. I'm glad I'm not in that boat. So yes, those are your 2 hints so far. He is a wizard from an established canon, an established fandom property, not my own, somebody else's, that lots of people know about, but it's not flippin' Hogwarts crap. Those are your 2 hints so far. If we get through all of the hints that I can think of before. Did I just put my hand in wet ink? I don't think I did. Let's see if we'll get through all the hints I can think of before the end of the stream, or if somebody guesses it. If you have a guess, by all means, please leave a comment. And we'll see if you're right. If you're right, I will let you know. It'd be cool if anyone can guess just from the image, because the image is also something that happens in the story. So if you can get it, I'll feel very happy that I'm getting across my idea visually. If I can stop flipping it around, that would probably help you look at it and guess, but I'm still doing straight edges, so I need to keep flipping it around. That's just how that goes. There we go. All right, we're almost to the end of all the, I think that's it for all the straight edge stuff I have to do. I could probably freehand those other ones. Famous last words. Okay, I don't need this stuff in my way right now. I'm gonna move it. The book is kind of glowing, so we're gonna not give too much rendering here. Oh shoot, I need the straight edge for right there still. We're just gonna give a little suggestion of some pages there. Binding, just a little bit of darker color there. All right, get back here, triangle. I still need you. So I've done some form of October art challenge sometime, because life. but or rather, I think I did it like, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago now? Because a couple of times I did it, and what I did with it was, rather than following any prompts, I've never really followed anybody's established prompts. I'm just kind of terrible like that. But rather than following any prompts, what I did a couple of times was just to work on a single panel of a comic project, like a short story that I wanted to do. I do one panel every day and post them without any like word balloons or captions or anything, with no text, so that people didn't necessarily know what the deal was. One of them I had to very intentionally leave some panels out to keep the meaning obscured, and I'd just work on those panels like in addition those days and not post them. And I did that a couple of times. I did that a few years ago for my adaptation of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So it was like it's like a modern retelling of The Raven with a different character, kind of getting across a similar idea, except the Raven's a pigeon. Because why do people allow me to do things? Because I should not be allowed to do things, I guess. But yeah, so it was just like the series of images. People were very confused. They're like, what is with all the pictures of this lady and a bird? But then paired with the text from the poem, it makes a lot more sense. Sort of. Because I left the text of the poem exactly as it was. Because that was the thing. So I did that a few years ago, and then the year after that, I did my short story, The Cthulhu Conspiracy, which that was a lot of fun. A lot of the panels from that were really, really fun, and people like had no clue what that was about. And I don't really want to spoil what that one's about. It's actually very cheeky. It's my very cheeky, sarcastic take on like, why is Cthulhu so popular? It is a conspiracy, but the nature of the conspiracy is kind of silly. It's kind of silly, but I had fun doing that. And I got some really cool panels out of that. Like, I got some really cool pieces because, normally you crank out a comic page and you do like 5 or 6 panels in a day or in one sitting. And so you're not necessarily like experimenting and playing around and taking your time with them. You're just blazing through them as quickly as you can and still doing a good job. So like you're doing your best, but you're not necessarily playing or doing anything like really fun or interesting. You're just trying to get her done. So the really fun part of like taking it one panel at a time was that it was like, oh, I have all this opportunity to just play now. So let's see how much of this I can get done in the time allotted. I bet I'll get pretty darn close, even if I don't quite finish in the hour. I'll probably get close enough that I'll finish up shortly after the stream ends. I just also don't want to go more than the hour, because with my current substandard streaming setup that I have here, where like I feel like I've gotten a handle on I'm sorry about the autofocus. That's not supposed to be doing that, but my camera decided to be possessed today and not keep the settings I set it to. That's fun. But I feel like I've got the lighting situation better, got the camera placement situation a lot better. But the way that I have to do all this, I'm not actually at my drafting table. I'm kind of perched on my computer desk, my drawing board, and it's absolute murder on my back. So there is no way that we are going more than an hour, because at the end of an hour, I'm going to have to get up and do some stretches. try to keep it to an hour anyway, just because it's good to get up and stretch. Good for me, good for you. I'm gonna gently encourage you in my nicest mom voice that you should go get something to drink and stretch at the end of this hour. But definitely not with the current setup am I going to try to push for any more than an hour. So let's see. In like 5 more minutes, I'll give another clue. If you have a guess as to who this wizard is, it's not mine, he's someone else's. This paper that I'm using is not necessarily the best for trying to do this hatching, like nib work in general. It's a wee bit thin and a wee bit toothy. It's a mixed media paper, and like it's okay, but it ain't great. I like to use this paper for doing like, I like to just draw on it just with like pencil. It's pretty nice for that. Especially if you're not using like graphite pencil, but you're using like coal erase type pencils that are a little bit waxier. Perfect. Perfect for that. Just the right amount of tooth. It's perfect. I like using this paper with like a combination of ink wash, like not like heavy ink wash, but like the Inktense, colored Inktense pigment pencil things. I don't know how to describe them. They're water soluble ink pencils. Way too many descriptors for that. Way too many seemingly contradictory descriptors, but they draw on a surface like colored pencils. They look like colored pencils. They act like colored pencils, and then you hit them with water, and they like with water from a brush, and they turn into water-based drawing ink. And they're very vibrant and intense and opaque and gorgeous, and I love them, and they're super hard to find. Like most of the time when I go into an art supply store, I always check out their Derwent rack, and I'm like, hey, I hope they have some. Even if they have just like a couple of colors, I'm going to buy them. And usually they'll have the little open stock Derwent Inktense rack, and it'll have like, it'll be like all empty. And have like 3 little cubbies with like 2 pencils hanging out in each one. And I buy them, and that's why I have like 4 of one particular color. I've got like 4 duplicates of that color. Not gonna run out of it anytime soon, which is good because it's like a medium brown, so I use it a lot. But just, I don't know why it's so hard to find. And I end up buying them online. I hate buying them online because a swatch on my computer screen is in no way indicative of what that color is going to actually look like on a paper. I'd prefer to at least hold it in my hand and see what it looks like, but I literally can't find them in a store most of the time, so. Just trying to get these, trying to do a little like repeated series of strokes to get the idea across on those as quickly as possible. I don't know if that worked that well, but we're gonna trying here. I will eventually get through working on this podium here. No, it doesn't seem that way. But yeah, those are the things I like to use on this type of paper. I don't normally really ink on this type of paper, but I have a good amount of it right now, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'll do some on that. Oh, I keep banging the camera. I'm sorry. All right, let's try that again. Try to kind of indicate that these are going in different directions. I don't know how well that's working, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. This is going to be not as dark in this little panel here. So yeah, I didn't do this any kind of art challenge the last couple of years, year two, I don't know, I can't remember, but I don't do it every year. Usually when I do it, I'm doing my own thing. I'm not really following any kind of prompt list or anything, but this year I was like, I would really like to do something. If nothing else, I would like to just, it's kind of appealing to just have something to mark out October as being different from all the other crushing walls of days and months and weeks just going by with almost nothing to distinguish them. Sorry if that sounded really depressing, but y'all know what I mean. I didn't have a con season this year. I really, really missed that. I miss getting out and being amongst my con family, meeting fellow nerds. It's very, conventions are exhausting if you go and work them, especially. Like, I find attending conventions pretty exhausting too, but there's a whole other level of exhausting when you're working at a convention and you have to be constantly on and constantly talking to people and trying to sell yourself and the emotional investment that comes in with that. It's all extremely exhausting, but it's also at the same time paradoxically extremely invigorating creatively because there's so many other artists there and there's so many other people who are doing the same kind of thing as you, so many like-minded people, and you see the things that they're doing the same, and it makes you feel like, yeah, okay, I got this. I'm figuring this out. Like we're on something. You see the things that people are doing differently and you go, oh wow, that's really cool. I never thought of it that way. Oh, that gives me an idea. Maybe not the same thing, but it just shook something loose in my brain, and now I'm like now I'm inspired and I'm amped up, and I have super duper missed that. It's like I've still been working, not as much as I would like to, on artwork through all of this time. Partially just because everybody's home, it makes it difficult to pull away and get work done. But partially also it's just, everybody's emotionally and mentally burnt out all the time, and myself included. But while I've still been working, I've definitely been feeling that, like, starved for that shot in the arm of, like, oh yes, here's inspiration, here's the good stuff, like here's that reinvigorating energy from being around all of these people and that kind of atmosphere. So in absence of that, I was like, you know what, yeah, it may be really difficult to squeeze this in, and oh boy, it is. It is a challenge squeezing in, not just doing these every day, but filming them and uploading them, all of this stuff. It's a challenge squeezing it in. I'm definitely challenging myself just getting an extra thing in. But it's also like I felt like being forced to do something so different and so demanding would maybe help fill in that a little bit. And that's part of why I like the all of October and everybody doing all sorts of different prompt lists and challenges and everything, because a lot of people are doing that. And so you get that kind of influx of people doing things different and outside of their comfort zone. And it's pretty cool. It's a lot of rambling to just say, yeah, I felt like doing this year. Okie dokie. Okay, finally done with the blasted podium. Now I need to try to turn around and get my brush without knocking everything over that I have precariously balanced here. All right. I just got a new brush. It's still all shiny and new. I'm still like at that stage where I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up. I don't have it. I don't know where it is. Just use the paper towel. Hone my point here. Okay. We're moving on to the figure. I just put my hand in something wet. I'm not sure what. Man, gotta love a new brush. It's just like magic. All right. Oh, it's been a while since I gave a hint. So here's another hint. What is this character? Hey, Jay. Okay, cool. That's okay. It's okay if you're late. I still haven't revealed who this character is. The prompt for today is wizard. The clues I have given so far is that this is an established character in somebody else's property, not mine. It's not Harry Potter. It's not any Hogwarts crap. And this is a scene from the property that this character is from. And I haven't had any guesses yet as to who it could be. And if you get it right, you get a cookie, I guess. Offer valid to US residents only, because I'm not paying for international shipping for a cookie. I bet you do recognize the scene. I bet you do. And there's a very particular reason why you would recognize this scene in particular and my interpretation of this character. So I bet you do know. If you want to guess it, go for it, and you'll receive delicious baked goods from me. It sure is. It sure is. You got it. Jay's got it. I'm glad that you could recognize what was going on, though. That makes me happy. So I'm using the Scrawl-o-Ween prompt, and today was Wizard, and I was like, I want to do something a little different than just some kind of Gandalf knockoff. And then I remembered that, oh wait, I know what I can draw. Get somewhat quiet as I try not to get confused while I'm inking this hand gesture. Add a little bit of this business to help make those fingertips pop forward a little bit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm trying to get this done. I don't know if I'll quite get this done in the hour, but I'm going to be awful close. But yet, yes, Jason has guessed it, and anyone who knows what he's just said anyone who recognizes the name of the magical substance that he just listed in the chat now knows it as well. And I won't put the answer in like the description of this video on YouTube here, but I will probably talk about it on like Instagram and Facebook when I post the finished image there. So later this evening. Yes, earlier when I was drawing it too, I was doing. You couldn't see it on camera, but I was posing. My hands kept disappearing from frame as I was posing and looking at myself in the mirror, trying to figure out what this gesture was supposed to look like. I'm like, wait a second. Where does that arm go? How would you do this? So let's see, we need to add some depth to this hand over here. His sleeve should be casting a little bit of a shadow there because the light is emanating from the book. So add a little bit of the depth. Oh, how do I want to do that? I guess I'll do it like that. Getting my hand in the ink. The other problem when you're trying to do stuff like in a time crunch is that with a wet medium, just like, oh no, oh no. Alright, now I have to get up to his face. Camera, I really wish you'd cooperate today. That would have been nice. It's been a day, though. Nothing else today has cooperated, so sure. Why would the camera? Do you like how well I can... Oh, thank you so much. Do you like how well I can still caricature the person that my interpretation of this character is based on, even though we have not been in the same physical space in like 10 years? Not quite 10 years. Okay, it was 9 years. That's the last time we actually saw each other. Oh, I don't know if you remember when I first read the book. This is and I did a little sketchy piece of fan art a couple years ago because I enjoyed it so thoroughly, and I mentally cast the two main protagonists as people I know, and one of them is my good friend Jason Aarons, who's in the comments right now. He was one of the main characters, and this is another one of our friends who was the other one. I don't know why my brain... Okay, I know why my brain chose this person for this character, but I don't know why my brain chose Jason for the other character, but it did, and it was perfect, so I went with it. That side of his face should be in shadow. That's tricky to do. No, that's different. That's a different threesome. This is a different person than the threesome. And I apologize. Your character is no longer a part of that threesome. So Jason is also, and a couple of our other college buddies are also the visual and character inspirations for the primary antagonists in my webcomic, Age of Night. They're, yep, our friend Will Thrasher is basically like the primary antagonist of the entire story. And Jason's character, I did kill you off. I'm sorry. Technically, you're still alive. You're just like a zombie. It's fine. You just don't have a brain left. It's okay. No higher brain function anymore. It's fine. You're also completely out of the story. You're gone now. But anyway, our friend Will Thrasher, another artist and game writer, is the main bad guy. My violet mage Baltazar. Jason was Odd. They're the white mage, and our friend Brandon Petrie is Zeke, the town guard. And really, Zeke's a really good guy. They did take your brain. Zeke is a really good guy character, and Odd really just didn't give a shit. He was just like the lazy hippie along for the ride who was just like, yeah, sure, we're doing whatever. Okay, fine, we're doing whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna go over here and take a nap and let me know when you're done. And really, it's just Baltazar who's the bad guy. He's just a bad guy, and the other two and he just kind of manipulates the other two into whatever he wants to do. Because violet mages have mind control powers, so that's works pretty well. That's completely off topic. Oh, dang it. It's already been an hour and I'm not quite done. I'm going to at least get the figure done. And then I think really the only thing I have to do is like fill in black on the background. So I'll be posting this on my Twitter and my Instagram in like within like probably 10-15 minutes after the stream ends here in a couple minutes. My Twitter is at Age of Night. My Instagram is at Amanda Call Art if you want to check those out. If you want to check out the comic that I was talking about, then go to ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. And yeah, I've been if you like watching these art videos, I'm in the middle of my October art challenge, and I'm uploading a new art video every flippin' day, all month long. It's usually like a time lapse of something I've worked on, but I am going to do weekly live streams too where I work on them, so something else you can check out. So like the video and subscribe and tell people, hey, check out the cool arts. All right, that's going to be it for right now. This was, I got to do this leg, and then we're done for tonight. This is, in case you haven't figured out from what we were discussing earlier, it's Rincewind from The Color of Magic, looking into the magic book and having the spell get lodged in his brain. That is, in fact, Octarine lightning coming out of the book. It'll be done shortly, and I'll post it online. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Bye.